Bright Cutie. Every student matters.
Once again, you all are welcome to my class in Political Science Class 12, and today we are going to study chapter number 7, Recent Developments in Indian Politics. Now, recent developments in Indian politics include factors responsible for the participatory upsurge in early 1990, meaning and features of coalition politics from 1990 till date era of coalitions, an evaluation of coalition politics in India and growing consensus about a few issues, increasing role of regional parties. Now, developments that had a long lasting impact were defeat in 1989 elections and Congress in 1984 elections, 415 in Lok Sabha. Congress in 1989 elections won 197 seats and improved midterm and came back to power. End of Congress system remained important party, ruled more than any other party but lost certainty. Now there was Mandal issue and National Front government NF led by V. Singh implemented recommendations of Mandal Commission, jobs in central government to be reserved for OBCs, and it was violent anti-Mandal protests and competition between supporters and non-supporters of issue. There was new economic policy, initiation of structural adjustment program, new economic started by Rajiv Gandhi. 1991 National Education Policy adopted and changed the direction that Indian economy pursued since independence and widely criticized but government continued. There was Ayodhya dispute also, number of events culminated in the demolition of disputed structure at Ayodhya Babri Masjid in December 19. It triggered long-term changes in Indian politics and debates about nature and Indian nationalism and secularism and rise of BJP politics of Hindutva. Unfortunately, we met with assassination of Gandhi as well in the year 1991 by Sri Lankan Tamils, that is LTTE, and when we was on an election campaign tour in Tamil Nadu. And it changed in the leadership of Congress in 91 elections. Congress single largest and P. Narasimha Rao became the Prime Minister. It was an era of coalitions. Congress does not get majority in 99 elections. The largest party 197 seats, and Congress decided to sit in opposition. National and alliance with Janata Dal, regional parties, and BJP left front. And outside support by BJP and left front. And it was a decline of Congress also in the development, like defeat of Congress marked the end of Congress dominance over Indian. In 70s, Indira Gandhi managed to re-establish the dominance. 90s saw another challenge to that dominance, and but it didn't mean emergence of another single party to fill its space. And it was an era of multi-party system. Began a number of party always contested elections, and parliament had representatives from several political parties. And 1989 emergence of parties in such a way that no one or two parties could get majority till 2000. Era of coalition governments and regional parties played a crucial role. Now let's see what were the features of coalition. A few noticeable features of coalition governments in India and other parliamentary democracies as follows. Like coalition governments are not on the basis of ideological similarity. Such governments are formed either with the objective of capturing power or with the objective of keeping some particularly party out of. And coalition politics is not a static affair. It is not static. It never remains. Alliances partners keep on changing sides of position. And some regional parties get off one alliance and other in order to reap the benefits of rewards of political power. And it also compromised the flexibility coalition government have to adopt a policy of compromise, like they adjust also. In other words, alliance partners have to accept something slightly different from what they really wanted because they fit the wishes of the other parties as well. So this is called adjustment, or we could say they accommodate the people with different opinions. In common minimum programs, sometimes alliance partners finalize a common minimum program to guide the government. Coalition government is usually a weak government. Coalition government cannot take bold or controversial decisions. Coalition government and ineffective. People are from different sides. It is diversity. So what happens there? Like people have different opinion and they might not agree with all the decisions, so they have conflicts also, right? Because it cannot remain inside the party. When it is only one party, you can keep the things inside it, and when what you will show as, like, you will show the unity. But in coalition government, you have to keep respect for, and coalition is suitable for divided society, like countries with many diversities, ethnic, religious, and linguistic have a number of political parties. Denmark, for instance, has 10 parties. Israel is a small country, but it has about dozen parties, and represented in it an assembly called Knesset. Therefore, these countries are permanently governed by coalition. And in way, our country also falls in the category of divided society. A grand coalition or national government. A national government comprises all the major parties. Parliamentary democracies, as those of England, Sweden, and Australia, such governments are usually formed in times of national crisis, such as war or external aggression or financial crisis. Now, the alliance politics. Emergence of powerful parties and movements that represented the Dalits and the OBC. Powerful regional assertion in 1990 United Front, that is UF, similar to North Front of 1989, included JD and regional parties with an unstable political equations. 1980 leftist plus BJP supported North to keep Congress out of power, and 96 left plus Congress supported the United Front to keep BJP out of. So BJP consolidated position in 1996. Most parties opposed to its policies, hence it could not secure majority in Lok Sabha. Finally came to power from May 1998 to June 1999 and re-elected in October 1999 Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. During both these, NDA government and his government in 1999 completed full tenure and changed from one party dominance to a multi alliance system from 1971 to 1999. These were the 12 coalition governments in 1980. And in 1989, the National Front, it remained from December 1989 to 90. Here, the Janata Dal formed the government with outside support and left. And Mr. VP Singh became Prime Minister in, and BJP withdrew support in October 1990 when L.K. Advani was arrested in the VP Singh. And these are the few pictures from his government. Now, section of National Front, November 1990. The tenure of governments was not like more than a year, led by Samajwadi Janata Party and supported by Congress. Chandrasekhar became, and Congress withdrew support in 1991. Rajiv assassination. Fresh elections were declared. Next comment was Congress government. It supported AIADMK and some smaller parties, and Congress 244 seats, BJP 221, and they just went for Congress government June 1991 to May 1996, and where it was supported by AIADMK and some smaller parties. Congress 244 seats and BJP 20. PV Narasimha Rao became the Prime Minister, and he adopted the new economic of India. Now, BJP minority government from May 1996 to then BJP emerged as single largest party with 160 single election. And Atal Bihari Vajpayee is sworn in. Resigns after 13 days, failed to get support of other parties. Was the year 1996, as you could see, Sansad mein sawa ghante bhashan aur aakhir mein ऐलान. No, after 13 days, he had to resign. The United Front government, June 1996 to April 1997, and this was from the United Front government with support of Congress and H.D. Devegowda because Sitaram Kesri was a president, and Congress withdrew its support. United Front government, April 1997 to it was an era of coalition government with Congress support. I.K. Gujral became the Prime. Congress withdrew the support in March 1998. National Democratic Alliance, that means 8 to October 19. BJP-led government supported by 13 political parties. Atal Bihari Vajpayee was sworn as and loses no confidence by one vote. National Democratic Alliance, it was again from 1999 to May 2000. BJP emerged as single largest party with 182 seats. Congress got 100. BJP-led government supported by smaller parties. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, again, first non-Congress government to 5 terms. In United Progressive Alliance, May 2004 to May 2009, Congress single largest party with 145 seats. BJP got 138 seats, narrow margin of 7 seats. Again, the coalition government led by Congress, Dr. Manmohan Singh became the prime. At that time, Sonia was the president of Congress. United Progressive Alliance, May 2009 to May 2014. Congress single largest party with 206 seats and BJP got 160. Coalition government led by Congress, Dr. Manmohan Singh became prime minister. India signs 123 agreement with USA and popularly known as United States India Civil Nuclear Deal. This is the result of 2014 Lok Sabha election in DA3. Now this is once again when Modi ji was there 2009 Lok Sabha elections for changing electoral performance of the Congress and BJP from 84 to 2019. The political process that are unfolding around us after 1990 show emergence of parties that are alliance with the Congress, parties that are in alliance with BJP, left front parties and other parties who are not part of any of the political rise of OBC. OBCs, other backward classes, all forces and administrative categories. And other than SCs and STs suffer from educational and social backwardness, backward caste. Non-Congress governments drew more support. Janata Party in 1977, PKD Samyukta Socialist Party had strong base among them. Now the Mandal Commission, when the Mandal was implemented. 1980s, the Janata Dal brought together similar combinations of political groups with strong OBC support and decision of North F to implement the recommendations of Mandal Commission. An intense for and against debate helped those who wanted to mobilize them, parties that sought better opportunities, employment, share in power, educate, representation. The Mandal Commission, the roots were reservation also existed in South since 60s, but not in North. And in the tenure of Janata Party, demand and national level raised, Karpuri Thakur, Bihar CM pioneer, had introduced reservations in Bihar. And central government appointed commission to look and recommend ways to improve the condition. Second Mandal Commission, chairperson was Mandal. Why was Mandal Commission set up? To investigate the extent of educational and social backwardness of the classes, ways of identifying them, and ways on how it could be ended. The recommendations: backward classes should also be identified as backward caste. Survey indicated very low presence in educational and employment services. Recommended 27% seat reservation and land. What was the Mandal issue? The agitations against these recommendations. Then the Mandal issue, the agitations against these recommendations, like North Front decided to implement reservations and sparked agitations and violent protests, decision challenged in Supreme Court. Indra Sani case name of petitioner and Supreme Court upheld government's decision and difference in implementation but has not got support of all major political parties. It was Article 16 by 4 in Indra Sahani. Now the political fallouts. Bharatiya Samta Party, rise of BAMCF, backward and minority Boys Federation, and power of Bahujan Samaj Party, etc. Dalit Shoshet Samaj Sangharsh Samiti, later BSP. There was Kanshiram. It was supported by Dalit voters in Punjab, UP, and Haryana. And it break through in UP and based on pragmatic politics, formidable political force based on their numbers, emerged victorious more than once and has expanded support. Communalism, secularism, and democracy. Rise of political based on religious identity, debate about secularism and democracy. And after the fall of Janata Party, erstwhile Jan Sangh, that was Gandhian socialism, with much success, emphasized on Hindu nationalist element. BJP adopted Hindutva and strategy of mobilizing. What is Hindutva? Hindutva meaning Hinduness. and originated was V.D. Savarkar and accept India as fatherland and holy land. Strong nation can be built only on the basis of a strong and united culture. And Hindu culture can alone provide this space. Shahabano K. 62-year-old divorced Muslim woman filed a case of maintenance from ex-husband and Supreme Court ruled in her favor, which was not liked by Muslim orthodoxy and was seen as interference in Muslim personal law. Government passed Muslim Women Act 1986 nullifying judgment and opposed by Muslim groups, women and intellectuals. And BJP criticized the action of Congress as pseudo-scholarism. Ayodhya dispute and Babri Masjid built by Mir Baki Babar's general in 16th century 1940s mosque blocked and ordered by Faizabad District Court in 1986 to unlock gates of Babri Masjid so that Hindus could offer prayers at the site. Some Hindus believed it was made after demolishing temple of Lord Rama that was his birthplace. And the locks also open for mobilization begin in both sides communal tension. BP made this an electoral issue and RSS and BHP mobilized people. The charged atmosphere BJP in order to generate public support took Rath Yatra. Demolition and after. Car Seva voluntary service by devotees for building temple. Situation tense especially at Ayodhya. Supreme Court asked state to take care of disputed sites and 6 December 1992 thousands gathered and demolished the mosque and clashes between Hindus and Muslims in Mumbai continued for 3 weeks. Consequences of demolition. Now BJP stated Kalyan Singh CM government dismissed by centre and president's rule first. Case filed against UPCM in Supreme Court for contempt of court and BJP officially expressed regret. Commission appointed to investigate the after political parties condemned demolition. And serious debates over secularism all. Debate about using religious sentiments for electoral purposes and democratic atmosphere faced a lot of challenges. Then the Gujarat riots incident at railway station at Godhra train carrying car sevak set on fire, suspecting hats of anti-Muslim riots erupted all over country. NHRC criticized Gujarat government for failing to control violence, providing relief persecuting preparators, and election commission ordered elections to be postponed. Government machinery become susceptible to sectarian passions and danger of religious sentiments for political purposes. 1100 killed. Lok Sabha election 2004. The NDA was defeated and a new coalition government led by Congress, known as United Progressive Alliance, came. Partial revival of Congress party could increase its seats for the first time since 1990. However, in 2004 elections, there was a negligible difference. The votes polled by Congress and allies and the BJP and its allies. Now, what were the trends and the developments? NDA 3 coalition 2014 was called a surplus majority coalition. Major transformation in the nature of coalition politics from one party led coalition to one party dominated coalition. NDA 4 coalition 2019 won more than 350 seats and BJP won 300 seats. Social scientists have started equating the contemporary party system with the BJP system, where an era of one party dominance like the Congress system has once again started appearing on democratic politics of India. Now, there were difficulties also faced by the coalition government. Let's see what. The very first was the coalition government involved many compulsions and compromises. Obviously, because there are some foundations and you have to accommodate many. Because lots of difficulties are involved in formation of government. The Prime Minister does not feel free about the allocation of portfolios to the minister because he has to keep into his mind that he has to do all the things in a very balanced way, and the distribution of key ministries is dictated by the compulsion of pleasing alliance and partners the department sees as a prestigious or profitable. Second, the coalition government have seldom proved long-lasting and stable. VP Singh's government lasted just 11 months and Chandrasekhar 7 months. HD Devegowda remained Prime Minister hardly for about 11 months and different parties have their different programs and policies which result in deadlocks and wire pulling from different directions. Third and major one is the coalition government give disproportionate power to smaller. During NDA's regime between 98 to 2004, the Telugu Desam Party tried to extract enormous funds for Andhra Pradesh from the central government. Because it was in position to do much arm twisting, the CPIM and the CPI and other left parties succeeded exerting considerable pressure on Manmohan Singh government's economic and foreign policies in 2008. And Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress had 90 is in the 15th Lok Sabha. She forced Manmohan Singh government to withdraw many of its decisions, such as an increase in railway fares. Such an increase seemed necessary because the railways had incurred huge losses. Trinamool Congress pursued a popular policy at the cost of damage to country's economy. Telugu Desam Party walked out of BJP-led NDA government in March 2018, and the party wished special status for the state of Andhra Pradesh, even though it knew it was not possible in view of 14th Finance Commission's recommendation. Issues of development and governance, Prime Minister Modi has started so many like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, Yojana, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ सबका साथ सबका विकास प्रधानमंत्री जन धन. Now the growing consensus, a broad agreement has emerged among most parties in the midst of severe competition. Agreement on new economic policy. Most parties are opposed to the new economic. Political parties are in support of the new economic policies, and most parties believe that these policies would lead the country to prosperity and status of economic power in the world. Acceptance of political and social claims of backward classes as well. Political parties recognize that the social and the political claims of the backward classes need to be accepted. As a result, all political parties now support reservation of seats for the backward classes in education and employment. Political parties are also willing to ensure that the OBCs get adequate share of power. And acceptance of the role of state level parties in governance. Distinction between state and national level parties is fast becoming less important, and state level parties are sharing power to the national level and have played a central role in the country's politics of the last 30 years or so. Then they emphasize on pragmatic considerations rather than the ideological positions and political alliances without ideological agreement. Coalition politics has shifted the focus of parties from ideological differences to power sharing arrangements, and thus most parties of the NDA did not agree with the Hindutva ideology of BJP. Yet they came together to form a government and remain in power for a full term.